In the meantime, let's set all of that aside and talk about something that could drive headlines election night and then in the weeks after Election Day, a looming election certification crisis playing out in those battleground states. Writer at large for the New York Times, Jim Rutenberg, joining us right now on the stream live. You've traveled to 4 different battleground states, finding the Stop the Steal movement has really evolved to what some officials are saying is a ready to reject the vote movement. And what that means is declining certification election results by any means necessary. I want to ask you a lot of questions, but I read the Times article front to back, and this quote stood out to me. Here it is. I want to get your reaction to this. Cleta Mitchell, called by some the rising star in the Republican election denialism, said, quote, "We are going to retake our election system one county at a time all over America," close quote. What does she mean by that?
Well, thank you for having me. And what that means is that really what happened after January 6th was a movement came together to, as Cleta Mitchell put it, the goal was to take over local elections offices for a lot of reasons. But as we near the actual election day, one thing that's going on is that there are people in place on these local election boards that will have the power to potentially interfere with the certification of the vote. That's when it starts on the local level. There's a kind of a stamp of approval that we have the numbers. This is very kind of pro forma in the past. It goes all the way through to January 6th every 4 years, where Congress finalizes it. And everyone knows that part of the process because that's the part of the process that got interrupted 4 years ago.
So let's talk about it. In the years since 2020, election officials have voted against certifying results in at least 20 counties across 8 states. So does this have any implication on what we may see in the upcoming election?
People, that's moderate Republicans, Democrats, election administrators, people who are not part of this movement, are preparing for some boards in some key swing states potentially voting against certification. I want to note that while the votes over the past few years against certification were extraordinary. We've never seen anything like this in American history, at least in recorded history. Those votes were normally kind of symbolic. They were overruled by other people on their election boards. The certifications went through. On some key cases, they didn't. And the fear now is that if that happens after this election day, that could stall a state as it has to submit its own full state results, including all counties, to the Electoral College ahead of December 17th this year.
That's why I asked our previous reporter about that county by county and how to watch as election results roll in. You know, it's hard to not leave our viewers who are watching right now in a dark alley. Some of them may feel some hope because of the 2022 Electoral Count Reform Act, which essentially mandates that states have a deadline to certify those results. But there's a fly in the ointment here, according to your reporting, by way of no punishment for those who refuse to certify. Tell us what that could lead to.
Well, I think really the issue is it's unclear after that deadline what happens if you miss it. So you miss that deadline. I want to say this so that no one goes to too dark of a place.
Right.
Every lawyer I talk to, every election expert says people may try. The courts are going to kick in. There are provisions in that law that you mentioned to fast track states, to pressure them to get that certification done on time. But there's just, as you put it, a fly in the ointment that we don't know what happens if a state misses that deadline. The deadline actually this year is December 11th. That gives them a few days before the Electoral College meets. So what most people think is if someone holds out, if a state misses that deadline, they'll still get it together by December 17th. The question is there then, when it gets to Congress, pretext for members of Congress to say, wait a minute, that state missed its deadline. We're not satisfied that all those problems were solved, and we want to look into that. Now you have a different situation.
We know at her recent town hall, candidate Kamala Harris told Oprah Winfrey when she was asked about this very potential problem happening in the country, she said, quote, "We are ready." Jim, it's great to talk to you there. Thank you so much for your deep reporting. It's fascinating, that reporting in the New York Times.